Hey, this is WhyBeAre with BeamNG.drive, and today we're going to be taking a look at a map called Rolling Hills Rally. And since this is a rally course, we'll get a rally car, so let's get the rally version of the Bishu Pessima. And for the color, I'm going to do cream, which might make it look exactly like the thumbnail basically. It might look hideous, or it might just kind of look like a dirty version of the car in the thumbnail, and yeah, it kind of just looks like a faded and dirty version of the car in the thumbnail. So we're not going to be doing too much driving in the free roam because the majority of the driving we're going to be doing is in these scenarios. But when you're doing a scenario, you don't want to crash. Where when you're just driving like this, you can do stupid, reckless things like flip your car over on every corner without much consequence because you can just flip it right back up. And if you break it, you can just reset it. But in a scenario, you crash your car once, you got to restart. And it's no fun doing scenarios multiple times, so we'll do all the crashing right here, right now, before we start the scenarios up, because I know a lot of you guys out there really just like watching the car crash into things, so figure we'll start with that, and then we'll go to actually driving good. So like right here, I'm not even trying to drive. Just hold the accelerator down and something interesting will happen. Like, now you're gonna steer, just go up the mountain, don't care. And actually, I'm surprised that landed so well. Or not. It's bogging down for a second. There we go. Just the wrong gear, I guess. Alright, we're going to try to do another airtime. I see a chance right here. Pop it up. And wheel axle broken. Not going to be doing much after that. Let's see. Let's give it a shot. Up. Never mind. It's upside down. And when it's upside down, we can roll it. But since I don't think it's going to be driving anyways, we'll just completely reset it. And keep on going. It looks like over here we have a little circle we could drive through. Or we could actually drive through it. Like, totally ignore it. Go straight. Wreck the car up. Drive shaft broken. Not sure if that is the front or rear. By the way the car is driving, I think we still got front wheel drive, just no rear wheel drive, because it used to be all wheel drive. I'm surprised that didn't damage, well, that damaged the car. Never mind then. And while we're in the free roam mode, we'll do a little bit of driving around kind of the non-road areas and see how that feels. This map isn't really designed for driving off the roads, but when you're driving on the roads and you see the mountains around you, it makes you wonder, could you do it? And so far, the answer appears to be yes. I am climbing up this mountain, no problem. But I do see a road in front of me, and I like driving on roads a little bit more than I like driving up mountains. Gotta avoid these rocks. Oh no, that was bad. Well, there goes another wheel axle. Still got 3 of them, so we should be fine. Oh no, this is awful. I can't steer, and we're upside down again. I really like the dirty look on this car. Like, the cream color works perfect for this. Just makes the car look like it was abandoned after the rally race, after it broke down for the 18th time, and it's just been sitting there, becoming filthy. Kinda like my car in real life, except for the breaking down part. It always looks filthy. And I'm like, I need to get something to, like, put it in a garage or something. It's not even that nice of a car, but it's like, it's a black car, so you blink and all the dirt in the world collects on it, and it's just like, what in the world is going on? My car looks so filthy! Can't even see out the rear window now! Alright, every time we change lanes, just accelerate faster than traffic is going to probably be going, and you won't crash. Don't do that in real life. It's not really a smart strategy, but sometimes it's just like, I can't see anyway, so you do that in addition to trying to look, because it makes you feel a little bit safer. And then you get pulled over by the cop, and the cop's like, why are you going 80 in a 35? Because I'm changing lanes, officer. Yeah, bad strategies. Anyways, let's pop this thing into the air, and then we'll do a little bit more driving off the roads before we move to a scenario. If it's upright, we'll keep going a little bit longer. I figured that would get it upside down, because 90% of the time when I fly, I seem to land upside down. We got it right side up, then we'll keep going. Got a nice paved road right here. Gives us a lot of room to get up to speed. 100 miles per hour. We're gonna wreck this thing hard. Yeah. Alright. Let's go ahead and reset this and then grab something a little bit better for climbing mountains. So we'll go with the D35 Beast, and we're gonna get it in yellow because I love my obnoxiously colored trucks. And yellow, that's as obnoxious as you could possibly get. So I see a mountain straight ahead. If we follow this road, we're gonna go to that. I'm gonna try to avoid climbing over all those rocks and stuff, because knowing me, I would just break my axles on those and then I would barely be able to move. Right here though, just climbing up this rock, going pretty well. It's a little tight through here. See a little bit of an opening right there. We'll go through there. Can we drive through that tree? Yes, we can. And here you actually kind of notice this is not an area you're supposed to be driving at because it's so barren. And that's not to say the map developer should put anything here, because really you shouldn't, because if you're playing the map the way you're supposed to, you'd never see this area. And if he just added trees to this area to appease the small minority who decided to try to do off-roading here, it wouldn't really be a benefit, because it would reduce the frame rate when you're just driving along these roads, because the trees would still be rendered, they'd just be so far away you wouldn't even notice them. So that's no like negative or anything, it's just a smart design choice actually, until you try to exploit things. Just like any game, there are lots of games where you can exploit it and ruin everything. It's basically the same idea right there. Hey, there's the finish line, and we're back to where we started. We've come full circle. Let's try to climb one more mountain, and then we'll move on to some of those scenarios. So this one looks a little bit steeper than the one we were just doing. We got the beast. It's not a concern how steep it is unless it's going vertical. All right, no problem there. Slow down a little bit for the downhill. Don't want to accidentally tip over. We're going to tip over anyways because this thing is so big. Oh, it actually held up. Just a little bit more and we're back to another road. All right. Now, on to the scenarios. We're going to go ahead and go to the first one, which is called Rolling Hills Rally Course Long. The original long variation of the rally race on the Rolling Hills Rally map, and you can see we're starting in the exact same place we started in free roam, but we have a rally version of the Sunburst, and it's painted up where the decals kind of blend in with the base color of the vehicle. Now, since this is a 47 checkpoint long race, we're going to take it nice and easy, because it would suck to get through 38.5 checkpoints and then you crash your car and you got to restart. And it's a lot nicer just to slow down a tiny bit to make sure you actually can finish. Although you wouldn't know that considering I'm off the road right there. Although that was kind of a good demonstration of the way the checkpoints work in this. Some maps, the checkpoints will be too lenient or not lenient enough. These ones feel right. Like if you got one wheel on the road, you're still good to go. If you completely are off the road when you go through a checkpoint, it won't catch us. So like right there, we were just barely on the road, still good to go. Right here, just barely on the road, still good. Barely on the road, still good. And then like on this one, you say, oh, I'm going to try to, make a little bit of a shortcut right here. Well, that doesn't count. Even though it's a pretty smooth road, you can't cut it quite that much. And that to me is what the checkpoint should feel like. It keeps you honest without making you have to backtrack when you felt like you were driving appropriately. And ooh, that airtime. Better slow down just a bit, because airtime is really the killer for me when I'm rallying. Because I'll either fly a couple of feet in the air, and then I land really awkwardly and my car flips over and I break it into pieces, or I fly straight into a tree and there's nothing I can do. Like, because when you're in the air, it's like, how can you slow down in a car? You can open up the flaps to slow it down? Yeah, I don't got a car with flaps. I got regular brakes. Right here, that's bumpy. It's a good thing I'm going slow through there. I could have easily flipped through there. In fact, if I remember correctly, when I was testing the map earlier, I did flip through there. So the mud right there really slowed us down. I'm curious if we were going faster, if it could have broke anything on the car, but I'm thankful everything is intact. And ooh, come on, corner tighter. Guess we gotta use that e-brake some and really fling it around those corners. I mean, that's the real fast and fun way of doing it, but the problem is it gets a little sketchy when you try to slide every corner with me behind the wheel. Because soon enough, there's a crash, which is, like I said earlier, 47 checkpoints. Don't want any crashes. And overall, I do like the way this map feels for driving like this. It feels really good for rallying, got a lot of elevation changes to it, maybe a little bit too much here and there where you start to kind of get bumpy and almost flip over, but it's perfectly reasonable for the amount there is. And then a lot of good corner mixes, like here, you got little itty bitty corners, and right here, look at this, it's a tight corner with a crest right before it, so you really got to slow down for it. I think the only thing this is really missing is some dude who yells at you, 30 meters, turn 6, and crest and puddle and all of that, so you really get that rally feel and you know it's coming up. Because as I'm driving through this, not exactly remembering what's around every corner is definitely slowing me down. But if I just had that co-driver saying, okay, go faster, go slow through this corner, I bet I would be killing it. So there is the last checkpoint. We're gonna go as fast as we can. Right on the last part. Yeah, there goes a wheel. So we did it in just about 3 minutes. So now we can go ahead and go to the next scenario, which is Rolling Hills Rally Course Short. The original rally course on the Rolling Hills Rally map, and you see we're starting in the exact same spot as before with the same car. The difference is when we get to that first location where you got to split in the road. Instead of going to the right, we go to the left, which is the shorter path, and it ends up finishing on the same spot. So the start and finish of this course feel the same as the one we were just doing, but the middle part is where everything is a little bit different. And if I had to choose which one I like driving better purely in terms of the way it feels to drive, I think I like the short just a little bit more. I don't know, really. I mean, they both feel very good to drive on, but something about the short a little bit nicer. And right here, that is the split. Got a container right there. And it does feel a little bit more natural going straight through there instead of going right, so you kind of get the idea that, yeah, this is the original, and they added that road afterwards. See, I like how it has this, where it kind of mixes in a little bit of tarmac just for a little bit. I mean, it's, you know, just a few feet here and there of the tarmac, but it gives you a little bit of a different look to it as you drive through things. And I gotta slow this down a little bit. I'm going way faster than I should be. There we go. Whoa, take it slow, get on the road! The scary thing is there's all this grass around you, and it hides the rocks that'll just shred your car if you dare run over them. Like, you could go off the road in some locations without consequence. Other ones, oh yeah, there's a boulder right there and you just lost everything. Oh, and right here, you see how those roads merged up? That's where the long path meets up with the short path again, so from here on out, it's the same as the last one. But as I was saying, you hit the boulder, and then you get your front bumper gone. Your radiator gets damaged, oh yeah. Your front left or your front right axle is broken, so you can keep driving, and you can steer a little bit, but you're only going to go about 15 miles per hour, which is a pretty miserable experience if you're actually trying to drive through it. So we are almost done with this. We're going to go a little bit more on this paved road, which is a little bit longer than the paved road we were on earlier, and since we're so close to the finish, let's actually go fast. And you've seen this before if I do end up crashing, so it's not a big concern. Whoa, that got some air. All right, now we got to steer. And we're going to go through the finish line super fast again, just because I love that. When you have a long straightaway for the finish, so you can finish like that, just totally wrecking your car. Anyways, on to the next scenario, which is Rolling Hills Rally Stage 1. The first stage of a 3-stage rally. And you'll notice we're starting in the same place with the same car once again, but this is the last time we'll be starting here, and the next ones we'll be starting somewhere else. And this is basically a shortened version of the first scenario we did. And we're going to try to drive this thing a little bit more aggressively just because it's a little bit shorter. It's only 20 checkpoints. So that means we're going to be sliding around the corners and having a little bit of fun with it. Although that's a little bit too fast even for sliding around those corners, going way off of it. Gotta try to just keep going. And I'm also really bad about trying to like get the camera at a cool angle while I'm driving and getting myself into trouble. Like, I probably shouldn't touch the camera at all when I'm trying to slide around these corners, but I think it looks cool when you get to see like just the side of the car as I'm driving. See, if I was smart, I would just do what I'm doing here, where I'm just letting the camera do what it wants. Yeah, actually, what would happen if we use the chase camera in this kind of situation? Oh, that feels weird. Like, it's kind of hard to even tell how much you're sliding with this camera. Like, I know I'm sliding a lot right there. Whoops. And, well, actually, it was a little bit more than I thought it was, and I ended up cutting that corner a little tight. Kind of ironic that I missed the one checkpoint I used to demonstrate earlier. It's like, you would think I would know exactly where the edges of that checkpoint were, because I used it for demonstration purposes, but no, I still blew it. Anyways, 2 more checkpoints, and we are through. And we're going to keep going fast for the dramatic finish. Aha, I can't remember what happens if you hit free roam, if it'll reset the car or not. Let's see. Nope, it doesn't. Oh, tornado mode. The camera angles are so bad with the chase camera, though. Oh, but that was a cool finish. See, that's why he slowed down, because I was driving through that same path. If I didn't slow down there, smack into the trees, and then it's game over. So next scenario is Rolling Hills Rally Stage 2. The second stage of a 3-stage rally, and this one starts in a completely different location. I don't even think I showed you guys this location in free roam, but we're on a paved road. The dead end's right behind us. And since we're on a paved road, we can go a little bit faster and be more reckless, although we probably shouldn't do that. So, yeah, especially right here, if we go too fast, we'll just fly off the road. You gotta slow down there just a little bit, and even then, I barely stayed on the road. To make up time, though, here we go. Boop, boop, out of my way, and then slam on the brakes anyways. Like, that's just to show off. Like, look at my precision. I can bounce both of those without actually hitting the barriers that'll stop your car. Ha! And we got one more checkpoint right up there, and we are complete. And I like that there's those little checkered flags right there. Cute. They're so cute. Just little flags. On to the next one. So you see, that one is really short. Only 30 seconds to complete it. And I think this one's pretty short as well. So this is Rolling Hills Rally Stage 3. It's the final stage of a 3-stage rally. It's only 18 checkpoints, so it's right in between the 2 we were doing. just a second ago. The first one was a little bit longer. The second one was a little bit shorter. Although, since we're on a dirt road here, we are going to be taking it a little bit safer because the dirt roads are more treacherous. And if I remember correctly, this one is doing a reverse of one of the roads I was driving earlier. I want to say it's a reverse of the long mixed with the short even, but I'm not exactly positive on that. And whoops! Oh, I got it! Nice! That was a perfect checkpoint. Like, I went a little bit wide and I thought I missed it, but I still ended up getting it. That is a really nice and forgiving checkpoint. I love that. Anyways, continuing on. I like the hay bale placement too. That's one of those things I haven't mentioned, but there are all these hay bales in like places where you wouldn't normally think. Like on the entrance to that bridge, there was a hay bale there just in case you go a little bit wide and you don't want to die crashing into a bridge, so they plop a hay bale there. All right, so through the mud, let's just go. Oh, I heard a little bit of crashing, a little bit of damage, but we're good to go. And actually, I'm kind of curious, if we smack into the hay bale on that bridge, how much damage would the car receive? So we're going to try that out after we finish through here. Come on, stay straight, car. Yeah, one more checkpoint. We're going to fly through it. Fly! Crash! I am a Christmas tree ornament.